Hello, everyone. I'm Włodzimierz Kuc, lecturer at Łazarski University, and today we have three distinguished guests. We have Professor Dominika Dzwonkowska, who is a project coordinator, and we will discuss today the project she coordinates. We have Eva Carlsson from Reykjavik University, as well the project coordinator. And we have George Gavtadze, Vice Rector for Academic Affairs from Georgian National University, CEU. Hello, everyone. So let's start with you, Dominika. Usually projects, they try to find a solution for a problem. So the question is, if you could tell us what was the aim before you started the project, and tell us a few words about the project and the outcome of the project you coordinated together with your colleagues from other universities.
So let me start with project partners. These are Georgian National University, CEU, and Reykjavik University, together with Łazarski University. We are doing the project on that is entitled Care for Tomorrow, integration of 17 Sustainable Development Goals into higher education. And the first goal of the project was to produce the educational materials to teach on sustainability. We planned at the beginning that it would be a book chapter that explains the SDG. For our SDG 1, case studies that present practical things that happen.
So Sustainability Development Goals, SDG.
Yeah, and the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Then 3 videos, this was the plan. Though we expanded our plan and now we accept for these results, we are also preparing a small case study simulation that we just played at the conference 1 minute ago, and it was very interesting. We are also preparing recommendation on how to teach sustainability. We're recording podcasts with different stakeholders, let's say, like academics, business, non-governmental organizations, on how to teach sustainability, what business, NGOs, government needs from.
Amazing. So you are true experts in teaching sustainability, each of you, right? So we can discuss all issues related to teaching sustainability, right? So you develop the techniques, the methods. But my general question is to each of you: what's your general perspective on integrating sustainability into higher education?
So at Łazarski University, we teach sustainability in separate courses. So there are courses on Intro to Sustainability, Environmental Management, CSR, ESG. So these are different, let's say, facets of sustainability. And we are also having sustainability in some specialization courses, like, for example, when we teach about logistics or about startups, we have their parts about sustainability. So those are the two main approaches that we have.
Okay, so actually two ways. You have dedicated courses and integrated, so few hours. Yeah. Let's say 5 hours within
or a case, because it's like in logistics you have so many new technologies, but sustainability should be there. Yeah.
Right. Eva?
Yeah, so at our university it's a bit similar. So we have this dual approach. We have some courses that are more focusing on 1 or 2 chosen sort of goals and parts, the facets of sustainability, as Dominika said. But it's really important for us to have the thread, let's say, this red thread throughout all courses and all studies. So we encourage as well students to, when they are writing the bachelor thesis or master thesis, to somehow tie it with sustainability issues, because these days it's so difficult really to have a project that is not reliant on sustainability. So we do have two approaches. And I, just taking the advantage, I can say that one of the reasons that we were interested in participating in this project was as well that we developed this textbook basically for students that will cover all SDGs together. Because at least at my university, I must say we often talk about sustainability and about gender equality, about human rights, oceans, environment, energy. But sometimes if you would ask students, so have you actually talked about SDGs and tell us what they are? They were like, but this wasn't SDGs. We were just talking about human rights and, women rights or, anything else. So it was good to actually have this project to tell them, okay, this is actually what it is about. And these are, each and different
So would you say
goal.
that 17 SDG Sustainable Development Goals, they cover all aspects of ESG?
Probably not. That's a tricky question. Probably not, I would say, but it's a very wide net. And I think in many courses, we are trying to indicate how they relate to one of the SDGs. And probably, there are courses where you can't really do it. Especially if you have some theoretical maths, theoretical statistics, you can't really do the connection. But still, they can be tied in the applied, I think, in the applied way.
Excellent, thank you. So, George, how it works in Georgia?
There are many similarities for sure, but in our understanding, SDG is not something separate to teach. It should be part of us, of our understanding, philosophy of life, everyday life, and so on. That's why we decide to spread these SDGs and the topics and
To different disciplines.
To different disciplines.
Okay.
We have the special disciplines for this, CSR, for example, human rights and green energy, green economy, and so on. But also we deepen on, strengthen some topics within the subjects. We also decide to have some, to add some activities like a thesis, bachelor or master thesis. And some research might be also based on these topics, but also we are going to add this also for the practices. After finishing the entrepreneurship process, our students need to make some presentation what they've done during their practice, and it will be needed to present how these SDGs are implemented in different businesses they are going, and to present it in their presentations. This is all. We also think that we need also to not only to teach, but also to make the students more skillful in this regard and to raise the awarenesses to help them to better understand what does it mean to have these SDGs, how to reach this goal within the country, within the families, within the local communities, and so on and so forth. Because we think that university is most active or innovative part of the society, and we create the local societies. That's why we need to not only to teach, but we need to help them to better understand their responsibility in front of these SDGs.
You're actually coming to my second question, but let's summarize your answer. It is also dual approach, but with a bigger emphasis on implementing to different courses, like implementing teaching sustainability into across your program.
Across disciplines, yeah.
Okay. So my second question was, in your view, what is the most effective method to teach sustainability? You already started, but you can maybe you can say a few more words. And from your experience,
Yes,
you are with that topic.
I think starting by doing, it's also matters. And there are quite a number of topics within these 17 SDGs to be taught by using this method. That's why I make more emphasis on the practical part of the curricula.
So how you do that practical part?
We we have different approach because, for example, we send our students to the businesses, but we also invite the special professionals from the businesses, and we try to involve these professionals within the teaching process.
Very good.
Because many subjects that we teach, they have theoretical part for sure, but they have also a very important practical part. And we invite the professionals from the business or from the market, so to be involved in this process, to help students, to teach students based on their practice, based on their background and working experience. This makes the teaching and learning process more interesting and more on result oriented.
Do those business people are keen to come, like and willing to share their...
This is some kind of challenge for them, but this I think this rise their interest and motivation to come. Some from the very beginning they are quite shy, or I can or I cannot. The question is from the very beginning, but then we train them with the modern teaching methods, assessment methods, and how to organize the lecturing part and so on. But they are more motivated, more interesting. Sometimes they have quite interesting results to analyze from point of view the quality of teaching and so on. This I think it's very nice combination, and this in this regard, based on this experience, I think we can get better results in the end.
Amazing. Eva?
Yeah,
how it works?
Similarly a bit, because I know that my colleagues often use case studies in different courses. So they have case studies focusing on different aspects of sustainability. They often have guest lecturers, visitors from the industry who actually... And this actually gives the students opportunity to see not only from a textbook how the different dilemmas work, but actually to really discuss them with people who face it in every day of their working life. And as I said, I mean, lots of work is as well with the thesis. So this is a little bit more theoretical, but we really stress that our students collect data and they analyze them. So they often have a few months, for several weeks, they go to a company and they write a thesis based on some case study there. We have, so I'm actually in the business and economics department, but as well in our engineering department, they have, of course, many other more practical solutions. You know, they are working of detection of microplastic in glaciers and in water, and detecting how microplastic from glaciers is actually then embedded into Icelandic water systems, which Icelanders, we are very proud of the quality. So seeing microplastic is sort of yes, not such a good news, but it's lots of practical activities as well.
Good. So students know that they're gonna visit on site some corporations or some business units, and they visit.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, it depends, because for some courses those visits are planned. For some courses, it's more that the guest comes to the university. We as well have internships. There's
within
lots
sustainability. The internship is
not only, but mostly.
Okay.
We have quite a big thing around circular economy, around fisheries, and so this is basically a company that is outside the university, but we work with them quite a lot. So basically, how well you can use fish after it has been fished. So not only the meat, but as well what to do with the bones, what to do with the leftovers, what to do with the skin. And you can basically use everything.
I can imagine for your university, the location, the fishery, it's a big
Very
thing, right?
important. It's very
Can you
big.
tell us more how, like, the approach, or do you have the speciality on that? If on the
So in the university, we don't have specialty for fisheries. But we have more in the business department. We have links with those companies who are trying to be,
Leaders.
circular, basically.
Okay.
And they often come as guests, as I said. We often send our students there for internships. It's
a big industry in
fishery is a very big industry, and Iceland is quite proud to be one of the leaders when it comes to circular usage, sort of fish.
Very interesting. Dominika, come back to Poland and
So it's very similar. It's very similar.
we try to also to invite practitioners.
Yeah,
Tell
we
us.
have some practitioners that are having courses, even those that are connected with sustainability or green marketing or socially responsible marketing. We also have quite a lot of internship hours, especially at practical studies where sustainability is involved, because it's now a must-have for business. And for teaching, we see that what's mostly working is whatever rhetorics, a practical involvement of students. So whether it's a case study or some project that they have to do, there are some projects that are helping students to understand that you cannot take all the sustainable development goals and apply them in one place, but you have to verify. So this is, let's say, confronting the ideas of young people about having very environmentally friendly organization business with the reality.
Talking about young people, the difficult question, in your view, how engaged are students in sustainability topics? It is, from my perspective, keeping students engaged is really challenging. So when we try to evaluate their activity into that sustainability topics, what's your assessment?
Well, basically it depends, because from what I observe, when students are doing their project, like for example, we have this big PBL project during the first semester of the studies management. Students are creating company and taking the PBL, problem-based learning.
Okay.
So they need to use knowledge from every course taught during the semester somehow to their project. The sustainability issues come very natural to them. They think about it right away. So it's, I would say it's something very natural to them. Though sometimes what I say, there is a big difference between expectations and having this vision of, for example, creating very environmentally friendly organization and financial realities. This is the one thing. And the other thing that how I perceive young people in Poland, we have this research. One of my colleagues was carrying out, that says that students are very much engaged, but it doesn't mean they want to cut on their unsustainable lifestyle.
Consumption, and so on, right?
Consumption, the travel, sometimes unnecessary materials usage, like too much plastic or whatever. So basically, I see on one hand they are very natural, they want the things. I see more and more students are writing thesis about green companies, about green issues, green topics, and they expect that the goods that they are buying to be sustainable. Though when they are told, okay, so maybe you shouldn't travel so much. Oh no, it's not my thing. Interesting
study. So so the question to you, Eva and George. So in your countries, like, if you can answer that, the young generation, so they are they interested in sustainability? And because in that context, Dominika just mentioned on that study that if there is a general interest, but it does not translate into behavior, right? It does not translate into the behavior. So how you see it? How you see their engagement? If they are genuinely interested, and how do you think whether they implement into their life, that pattern, sustainable pattern?
Yeah. So of course I don't want to generalize because we have such a variety of students, but I think that all of them, they know about sustainability, they think it matters. Of course, how much they implement themselves, it varies. But what I can say is that something that I noticed, and I thought this is very good. Many of them shop secondhand clothes, and this is a sense of personality. So not shopping, in fast fashion items, but actually going and searching, then this is part of their personal style. And I think that this is new and just becoming more popular. And I think that this is actually a really good side.
But, where does it come from? From personality or from the awareness that is built within the sustainability teaching, maybe?
I think from both, yes.
Okay.
I mean, you need to discuss the topic. You need to talk to people and discuss what options are there. I know that some students, for example, these community fridges, this is a project that is quite popular. It doesn't mean that all students use it, but I know that there is a certain group that are very eco-friendly and they really like the idea, they support it. So like a community fridge where you can use...
We have it here in Warsaw as well. It is quite popular as well.
Yeah, exactly. Or, for example, events where you can swap clothes. So you, instead of actually paying for them, you bring together and you do a swap.
That's a good idea. We don't have it.
And then what is left, you can actually donate to some second-hand.
Or no, I've heard about that kind of event in Poland, in Warsaw as well. So they are
becoming popular
yes.
more and more. And I think that is great. We have as well, so that our university, we have as well something called Iceland School of Energy. And since Iceland basically runs on renewable energy, 95% geothermal and hydro, so we are very lucky. There are many students from all around the world that actually come to the program, and they are very interested. So they are really learning about, how to, in this case, work with geothermal, with hydro, but they learn as well wider about energy and policy.
How big is your university?
How big is the university? That's always the tricky question.
Oh, how many students, more or less?
We have, so in my department, we have, so the business, we usually have around 300, 400 entry students for the first year. And this is the biggest one. But then we have as well law, sports science, engineering, that is quite a big division. So probably per year, around 1,000 people. More or less.
So a few thousand probably, overall probably would be a few thousand students, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. George, what's your perspective?
In my opinion, it's easier to teach young people rather than the people in my ages, at least.
That's very interesting point, because we were discussing one day with Dominika.
It's easier to discuss this kind of topics with them, with the students, the young people. I'm not too old, we are not too old, but still, because they are more interesting. They are trying to be involved. But when we talk about the same with the colleagues, I would say that they are less interesting, but students are more active. And I can say more. The students are active not regarding the academic processes. They are creating some activities by themselves. And we can learn from them regarding these topics we have in the SDGs. For example, in my previous job place, I was a rector of public university, and we have the project, it was my initiative, so-called Me University. And the idea was to give students the possibility to talk about what they don't like within the university, how they think could be changed and this problem might be solved, and what they are themselves ready to contribute to these changes. And they need to present some projects in this regard. And so the one project was named, "This is our space." The idea was to create a green university. And I myself, I learned a lot from these young people. There were 5 students, as I can remember. They create a project. They make some promotion of this idea of the green university and so on and so on. It was around 15 years ago, at least 10 years ago. So it was students' initiative. That's why I'm trying to say that they are more active. They can easily learn from us, and they are more active to implement these novelties in life. And in this regard, we're going to learn from them.
Very interesting. And do you have postgrad, like the special for adults? Do you have studies in sustainability for adults? You know what I mean? From postgrad students, or dedicated courses on sustainability for people in 40s, 50s, or 60s? The universities, we don't discriminate people regarding the ages. Yeah, I know.
Anyone is welcome.
Yeah.
But
it's more difficult to teach,
sure.
right? It's more difficult to teach what you are saying.
In this regard, we in our country, we have different kind of possibilities, I would say, like professional programs, because many of people, they would like to change or make more concrete their specialization regarding the demands from the job market. So that's why in our case we have one student for professional program, event management, so-called. She was 57 or something like this at age. So
you do not discriminate.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And we also have so-called informal education. There are different kinds of training, automatic, that's on. It also makes sense. And since the universities, we usually always organizing some events and some different kind of activities. It also matters.
But that's your view that it's easier to teach those undergrads. They're more keen, they're more active, more engaged than adults, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So I will make, if I may stick with you, the next difficult question is how can universities in general translate awareness into real behavioral change? That's a difficult question. Is it possible that sustainability teaching, or what techniques, or do you believe in that? It is because I understand that the big problem, it is our behavior, right? And the aim of teaching is also changing the behavior, what you were mentioning, right? The students are interested, but there is no effect into implementing in this their knowledge, their awareness of that, because if they thought they are aware, but at the end they are not interested to implement that you were saying this, Dominika. So the question is what we can do in order to eventually change that behavior. Or we cannot, we cannot go into their mind and control their minds. Tell me.
No, but I think to some degree this is as well, it's not only about teaching, but maybe leading by example, at least as far as possible, right? And sometimes it can be even small actions. So at our university, we have, for many years already, we have a sustainability committee that is meeting several times per year and discussing various things. So it's from actually teaching sustainability to actually implementing it. So making sure that our catering is
forcing it.
Yes, forcing. I mean, it's about choices in the end, right? And
Right.
university in the end is a institution that as well requires to buy certain assets,
Of course.
to provide food or to sign a contract with another company. And that's a choice who you are going to give your preference, let's say, to. We had from small things, we had actually we replaced we used to have water stations across the university with these paper or plastic cups still a couple of years ago, and they have been taken away. So the stations is left, but students could buy quite cheaply proper bottle. And at the whole university, you cannot find any one-time cups. You need to carry actually something with you, a bottle, a cup, or
I like it.
yeah. So I think it's, it's a very small thing, but I think it's important as well with sorting, for example, rubbish. So at some point, and when it came, I was very surprised, I must say, because at some point there was, it's like a fun anecdote. The bin that you usually have next to your desk was actually taken away. And now we have central bins because like this, you can sort. So you are supposed to sort, of course, plastic, paper, and the size of the paper as well.
We should implement it at university.
So it's
very good idea.
It's a small thing.
Yes.
But I
Yes,
think that
it's-
even
but
these
it make
small
big
things,
sense.
they matter. And it is like example. Maybe for Iceland, it's a bit difficult to move to a train to go anywhere for for a conference. But online, fortunately, as well exists. So you try to implement it when it's possible.
Lead by example. Very good answer.
Right.
George and Dominika, you want to add something to this, or you fully agree and sign?
I agree. I think it's about creating a framework. So we also have a water stations where you can come with your
Yes.
own cup or bottle. You cannot so it's directly connected to water. So it's creating some sort of a framework in which these habits are becoming natural and giving examples. So basically, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because if students listen one thing in the auditorium and see totally different
Yeah.
in the reality,
Yeah.
it's just a wasting of time.
Yeah.
And we also try to give some examples. For example, we removed the paper from the academic process. So the exams are based on the online and computer based. For example, we have so-called green boxes and all kind of papers students can put there, because they know that when we collect these papers, then we give it to some companies, and they buy some bestseller books for our students. So they know that if they act like this, they will get one of the bestsellers in the library at the university. So give them examples to help them to feel they are not just studying something, they are part of the process of the betterment of environment, and they should be proud of it. They are part of it, and it makes them if it's so, we don't need them to force to do something. Sometimes they become leaders in this way, so it's nice.
Amazing, thank you. So one last question to each of you. Let's come back to the project itself. It took several months, and you've created methods. You work on the teaching standards. So what is the impact of that of the project, and how you implement? What is the outcome? How you implement the outcome in your environment, in your universities? Is that the teaching methods? Is this anything else that is most valuable and impactful for your university?
So basically, we have created some project results that could be a part of a teaching. Today we played this
Simulation game. Okay.
It's actually the gamification of a case study. So it's
Okay.
both a little bit demanding because you need to read it, because you need to understand, you need to focus a little bit, but then you get a personalized feedback. This is something that we do not have yet on the website. This will be on the website in July. But these are the tools that we could use, short videos that we have recorded, are the things that you can use, you can show to the students, you can put them as extra material, so do it, take a quiz on the website.
So this is going to be available for common use?
Well, all of the products are available, just
Very
the gamification will be available a little bit later because it's a new
new
product.
product.
New product, yeah, new result.
Good. Okay, anything else? Talking about the results, Dominika or Eva?
Yeah, no, I think it was a really good experience, and I'm very happy with to actually have created a textbook basically for SDGs with the case studies, because I think it gives like for teachers good material to work on. I mean, this is both, you have a chapter with a more theoretical side of it. What is it? How is it measured? And so on. But then there's a case or even two cases for at least some of the goals where you can have a basis for a discussion. I think in the end, it's a lot about discussing. Sometimes it's good to discuss, these big topics and then say, how do they actually link to all of the, or some of the SDGs? But sometimes it's as well to take just one and, look at it from different sides.
So for each SDGs, there's a case study. You can
studies, yeah.
Case studies and
one chapter to case studies. One of the case studies will be in gamification form for videos. So this is a lot of material. When we started this project, I didn't realize it's so much of the results. Maybe if I would, I wouldn't do it.
So I imagine a lot of work, but is that something you created within the project? It was a missing, there was a gap, like you couldn't, in that educational materials, you struggled to have one-stop shop, I would say. So now you have created the platform, and it's useful for academia to use those cases and the explanation in the videos for each of SDGs, right? So,
yep. So it's 51 videos,
51
right?
videos, 34 cases, 17 chapters.
Yeah, big numbers. But I
Big
think,
numbers.
I'm really pleased with the results. And I have a course in energy starting mid-August. So I am definitely going to do with my students the energy case study that will be gamified.
good.
I thought it's in a privileged position. They start the academic year earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So basically, we can all the information can be disseminated for academia and can be used.
Anyone who would like.
That's good.
The videos are there on the website. So
What is the website?
It's Lazarski YouTube, but the project website is 17 Ghosts in Polish, but we will put the link to the website.
Yes, we'll put to the video.
Yeah, we'll put some description and link to it so that everyone can use it.
Access and is available. George?
Instead of having visible results like chapters and books and videos, we also have one little bit more results or outcomes of the project. One is I would like to underline is that more deep cooperation between the universities and the better possibilities or better starting points to have more and better projects for future.
Research, exchanging experience, right? It is.
Yeah.
It is. Was
it's
an
also
international
matters,
project.
because your students were at our university and our students at.
Well, that's important.
This is important
we haven't
because
sent,
yes, because when students gonna say that this is not only the case of his or her university, there are some other university doing the same, taking the same. It also matters. It also have some influence on the student's brain, their attitude, which is most important to have an attitude, because how they act or they are doing it mostly depends on their attitude towards the two different concepts. So that's why we try to teach them and to help them to create the attitude towards these SDGs. That then we don't need to force them to do something. It will become part of them.
Very valuable what you're saying, because I personally believe that companies, when they recruit people, when they hire, they assess the attitude. You cannot know everything, but your attitude, if you are ready to learn, right? So it is important what you're saying. So you teach the right attitude in university. So absolutely important. So there was exchange of students, right, within the project. I didn't know that there was exchange.
We had to 1 week events on PBL, so problem-based learning. For a week, students studied in Warsaw.
Wow.
Yeah, they learned how to create a company, and they created an environmentally friendly company, presented.
Good.
One team won. And then we have 1 week in Tbilisi with students from partner universities also. And Tbilisi part was more on political studies. So
Environmental.
of course, sustainability, but more the students were solving some public problems. So there were presentations about public transportation in one of European capital cities. I don't know if I can say, because students were trying to improve it, and about the sewage system. So everything that is crafted around sustainability, both teaching and then learning by doing. So this is and as George said, there's the students that came, and some of them joined. I remember there was one student in Tbilisi that was later coming to Warsaw for an Erasmus exchange. So he joined, just so you know. And I see that some of my students are still telling about their visits to Tbilisi. They were very happy. They were very excited to go there. They are having some warm memories from Tbilisi. You know, Georgian people are great hosts.
Yes. I love Georgian people.
Yeah, they are great hosts, great food, and the university is amazing. So many great memories, and I see this contact lasts.
This is also the outcomes of our project. Why not?
Relationship among the universities.
So this was the human face of the project.
Why not?
But there is a human face, but also you were saying that they develop business plans, the business ideas, and as you well know, there are EU programs and special funds dedicated to support impactful projects. So I think we need to remember that developing your sustainability project has also a big business potential because of the support that is offered within the EU funds, at least for this kind of project. So it is a very practical dimension of that sustainability teaching as well. Thank you very much for your time and for all the nice discussion. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dziękuję.